Hey guys, I wanted to talk about George Floyd. Um, I'm going to be reading some from an article from Wikipedia called The Death of George Floyd. This has got worldwide headlines. The death of George Floyd, an African American man, occurred in Minneapolis, Minnesota on May 25th, 2020. And Derek Chauvin was the white Minneapolis police officer kept his knee on Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, 2 minutes and 53 seconds of which occurred after Floyd became unresponsive. Floyd was handcuffed and lying prone on the road throughout that time. Officers Thomas K. Lane Tao and Keung participated in Floyd's arrest, with Keung holding Floyd's back, Lane holding his legs, and Tao looking on as he stood nearby. The incident occurred during Floyd's arrest in Powderhorn, a neighborhood south of downtown Minneapolis, and was recorded on the smartphones of bystanders. The arrest was made after Floyd allegedly attempted to use a $20 bill in a deli, which an employee identified as counterfeit. Police stated that Floyd physically resisted after being ordered to exit his vehicle before the video was filmed. Surveillance footage from a nearby restaurant appeared to contradict police claims, with Floyd shown falling twice while being escorted by the officers. The criminal complaint stated Floyd did not voluntarily get in the car and struggled with officers intentionally falling down, saying he was not going in the car, and refusing to stand still based on body cameras worn by Lane and Keung. Video recording by a witness showed the arrested Floyd repeating, "Please, I can't breathe, and no, kill me," was widely circulated on social media platforms and broadcast by the media. All 4 officers were fired the next day. The FBI is conducting a federal civil rights investigation into the incident at the request of Minneapolis Police Department. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is also investigating possible violations of Minnesota statutes. On May 29th, Chauvin was arrested and charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter for Floyd's death, with Hennepin County Attorney Michael O. Freeman saying he anticipated charges to be brought against the other 3 officers at the scene of Floyd's death. After Floyd's death, demonstrations and protests in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area were initially peaceful on May 26, but later that day became violent as windows were smashed at a police precinct. 2 stores were set on fire and many stores were looted and damaged. Some demonstrators skirmished with police, who fired tear gas and rubber bullets. A preliminary autopsy found no indication that Floyd died of strangulation or traumatic asphyxia, but that the combined effects of being restrained, underlying health conditions including coronary artery disease and hypertensive heart disease, and potential intoxicants in his system likely contributed to his death. Attorneys for the Floyd family announced that they had requested an independent autopsy. Floyd's death has been compared to 2014 death of Eric Garner. Also, an unarmed black man repeated "I can't breathe" several times after being placed in a chokehold by a New York police officer during an arrest in Staten Island. And also, they said that Chauvin, the one that had his knee in his neck, his wife filed for divorce yesterday as well. So people have been saying that he probably was abusing her too, or it's a tactic to secure, their financial funds, but who knows. The girlfriend of George Floyd was saying that he moved from Houston to Minnesota to have a better life. And a lot of folks were saying that he died on the same day his mom died 2 years ago, but now they're saying that it's been 2 years ago this week, sometime this week. And I bet you that was his mom that he saw, and he definitely did die on that street, I would say. They're saying he died in the hospital, but that cannot be. I don't think that is that. As soon as you saw the life drain and the urine run down, in a stream under that car, you knew he was gone. And the way that his eyes looked, and I honestly didn't see this video until I think Wednesday. My daughter had told me about it when it first happened, and I just said I can't even watch it. And because she had such a pale look on her face, and I said maybe she was thinking, in her head about her dad, because they are the same age. I think 46, they're the same age. So it's hard not to think about. I mean, just as a human being, and then it's hard not to think about your relative, your loved one, in that same position. And then they're saying that those two, Chauvin and Floyd, worked together in I guess like a club for like some years. I don't know if that's true, and the club owner didn't know if they knew each other, because I guess Floyd worked as a bouncer in the club, and he worked as a police officer outside of the club. So I don't know if you guys know if that's true. Let me know down in the comments. But it's just hard to believe that 2020 something like this is still happening. It's very disheartening. It's been an emotional wreck of a week for all of us. I actually watched most of that video with the sound off. I think I cut it on towards the end where we heard the bystanders saying, "Get off of his neck," And the little girl that recorded it, she's a wreck. And the young black man that said that he used so much restraint to, I mean, what is it that they could have done? I really don't know. They probably would have been killed themselves. People were saying that they should have did something, but you don't know. Somebody's always saying what you could do, and you're not in that particular position. It's just so horrific. And to think that people, and the comments that a lot of white folk are making, and you don't want to put that on all white people, because it's not all white people, but the comments that I have seen on Facebook alone have been terrible. You never would think people would think that way. The things that they were saying, the N-words, and it's just horrible. Like, I just don't understand the hatred. I don't understand why this has been going on since the beginning of time, basically. I don't get it. Like, what is it? What is it about hatred? And especially that the president that we have now, that makes them think that they can just really be bold and out front with it. So we definitely have to get out and vote, guys. People were saying that it was a white police officer that initially set the fire to the 3rd precinct in Minnesota. So you don't know that, if that's true or not. Also, I wouldn't put it past anybody to get the riots started and more pumped, to have plants, people planted as protesters, and they're really not. And then you have the young black boys, and my son included. And my son is, he's autistic, so that's another thing, people, you definitely know they're not trained to handle people with special needs. So, you got all the black boys scared. It's just like, what is the answer? Like, what do you do? You just feel helpless. And I can't imagine being the ones that were right there watching that whole thing. They will, because I can't forget about it. And like I said, they were right there, and they probably are second guessing themselves. Maybe I should have did this, and maybe I should have did that. And then, because I'm thinking about this thing constantly, that's how my mind does. So I knew when I watched that video, I was just gonna be thinking over and over and over. I was just thinking about, he was a big guy, and he was probably all that time, that 9 minutes, all that time, he was trying to, use all his strength to hold his neck, And then, when he finally couldn't take it no more, all that weight from that guy's knee just took him, he couldn't hold that counter pressure. It's just you wouldn't even do an animal like that. The black race is rated less than an animal. Less than an animal. It's and then the other two police officers was on his lower body, so it's like, what were they doing? Like, I feel like it really was personal. I just don't understand. And then from their vantage point, they can't even see his face, and they don't even care, obviously. But to see his face, from our point of view, to see his face and just to see the life just slip away, that was just horrible. And I just can't get over the life slipping away in the urine flow. And I said, oh man. And then there were no resuscitation efforts. They were saying that the EMTs had on bulletproof vests and guns, so we was kind of thinking, people were saying that were they really EMTs, or were they just police officers? And the way they just kind of picked him up with no neck brace, no nothing. And then I don't know. It's a head scratcher. You don't want someone to be identified as another hashtag. You really don't. It's gotta stop. It's just gotta stop. Like this, and the comfort that we can think about is that, they say I didn't listen to it. He called for his mom, and his mom was most likely right there, and that they are in peace, and they don't have to worry about this crazy corrupt world. But I just don't understand why these things happen at all. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, it's just, why? Why? A $20 bill? He died over a $20 bill. Like, I don't even know what happens in that situation. I didn't think the police were called for something like that. I mean, I would just think the cashier person would be like, this is fake. I don't know, give it back to them and say, can you pay another way? Like, I really don't know the procedure on that, even though, you know, I worked in the hair industry and we had to deal with money all the time, but I never really came across a situation like that. So, but to die over a $20 bill, and black folk are so forgiving. It's like the guy with the Central Park, I think her name's Amy, but he could have very well been killed that day as well. And he's just so forgiving, just telling people not to threaten her and all that stuff. I haven't really read what he said, but just so forgiving, just like Botham Jean, his brother, hugging Amber Geiger. I don't understand that level of forgiveness. I couldn't do it. Because you can't even sit in your house now. People go to the wrong house and kill you. They go. You can't sit and eat a bowl of ice cream, recovering from a wisdom tooth procedure. You die. Oh, you just can't do nothing. You die. You stand there. You die. You looking funny. You die. You looking the wrong way. You moving the wrong way. You're not moving at all. You die. So it's very, very disheartening. And I encourage people of other races, if you are tired of being portrayed as a racist or evil, do something. Say something. I've been seeing some posts about, white folks doing things and protesting. So hats off to you guys. I wouldn't want to be portrayed as an evil race. Just like we don't want to be portrayed as thugs, as the president keeps saying, thugs. So guys, leave your comments below. I've been signing some petitions. If you guys have any petitions, you can leave the links below for everyone to sign. I'll try to see if I can find the ones that I signed, and I'll put them down below as well. You guys take care. I'll see you next time.